What's up, and welcome to 5280 Film Room.
We're a Colorado sports podcast by fans for fans.
Please subscribe, rate, and review, and also follow us on Facebook and Instagram.
You can also email us your input, questions, and ideas at 5280filmroom@gmail.com.
Thanks for listening. Hey there, Rockies fans. Welcome to 5280 Film Room. I'm Alyssa.
I'm Gideon.
Miles.
And I'm Jordan.
We've had a few days to process how our season came to an end. We were there at the last game, the freezing cold game at Coors Field.
Technically, it wasn't freezing.
That's true. It
was
was
cold.
It was below, above
really,
32
really
degrees
cold.
Fahrenheit, but it was still really cold.
I'm just being picky.
It was not a fun game.
No, there wasn't much to cheer for. 7-0. It was awful.
When we were thinking that coming home, the Rockies would definitely find their bats.
There'd be a spark.
Blow the Brewers out or something, at least not go into extra innings, but it was the complete opposite, and the entire stadium was pretty much deflated, other than the way too many Brewers fans that were there.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of Rockies fans tried really hard to hang in there and, stay vocal through, the sixth.
Yeah,
I would say
once the
post
seventh
inning stretch.
people are like, why are we
Well,
out
people
here?
left. The stadium, I didn't like how many people left early. Because I'm like, it's your team,
playoffs.
it's playoffs, suck it up.
Yeah, it's the first home game in Denver since 2009.
Right, and
Also,
yeah,
the last
it was
playoff
cold.
game,
Yeah, we were
if
losing.
they were going to lose.
Yep.
But suck it up and stick it out for the game. A lot of people left. At that point, you just had those handful of people here and there trying to stay loud and keep things pumped up.
It just got to that point where, all right, we're going to lose, and the offense isn't doing anything, so...
And there was
What can we cheer
no
for?
energy coming from our players, so it was very hard to have energy as a fan. We were getting nothing. But all that being said, yeah, it was a really bitter end to a really good season.
Oh, yeah.
Did not have a great finale. The final numbers sucked, but
91
the
wins,
rest of
though.
it was pretty solid.
As far as regular seasons are, yeah. I mean, that beat our previous record, right? Or is that tied?
So 92 was our best season
Okay.
in 09. And we
Didn't
were
even
one
tie.
below that. Yeah.
All right. Well,
Very close.
we had an okay season.
Yeah.
I mean,
In Rockies
comparatively,
history,
this was a solid season.
really good step forward. We're putting together, 80 plus wins, much easier, and it's not, waiting 10 years before it happens again. And it's nice to see the Rockies being taken more serious a little bit more as time progresses from the rest of the league.
Oh, yeah. I'm glad that Kyle Freeland got to be on the big stage in the wild card game.
Oh, yeah.
So that, nationally, I feel like he's going to be known from now on.
I
Because of
hope
that.
so, because he deserves it.
Yeah. I mean, he outpitched one of the greatest postseason pitchers of all time. Now, Lester was great. 6 innings, 1 run. But Kyle Freeland went 6 2/3 with no runs. And he was fantastic. So I'm just excited for him and his future with the Rockies. So, I mean, the postseason, it was a disappointment, but that wild card game was so exciting. I didn't think the
really
Rockies
was
were going to
great.
win that game, but
It was long.
it
But
was
they
so long.
worked
5
it
hours.
worked it out, and they came out on top, and it had everything to do with Freeland pitching a gem and making sure that we were set up to allow the bullpen to take care of the rest rather than...
And they actually did take care of it. We've
Yeah.
watched so many games this season where the bullpen came in and blew a lead and really ruined the momentum. And
Well, and that's what I'm trying to get at, though,
13
is
innings.
Freeland was definitely suspect during the regular season to giving up, anywhere from 4 to 7 runs over 4 or 5 innings. And for him to go out and, what did he pitch, 6?
6 2/3.
So,
No runs.
no runs.
Yeah.
yeah,
When you take regular season stats and compare them to postseason stats, the really good players, you can see that they play better in those high tense situations. And now we've got a young kid that has shown that he can step up and deliver when we ask him to deliver, and it's gonna be really exciting moving forward to watch him grow.
Yeah, because he's not a flashy pitcher. Like, strikeouts are super flashy. Like, he's a contact pitcher. He's not a guy that's going to get 11 strikeouts. Like, he'll go 7 innings and maybe get 7 strikeouts. And that's not, like, super flashy. But whenever he gets the guys on base, like, he's like, ice cold. Like, he's not going to let another hit. And he's been fantastic. And he's still got a couple of years on his rookie contract, so he's going to be around for a while. And he's a Colorado boy, so I'm hoping we can keep him in Colorado for a long, long time.
Yeah, he's one we know for sure we'll have next year and hopefully long into the future. But there's a good handful of Rockies that that sad, cold game was probably their last time
Yeah, the biggest
in a Rockies uniform.
Yeah, the biggest names that could be gone next year because they're free agents is Ottavino, DJ, Cargo, and Para. And I think they for sure have to keep either DJ or Ottavino, but they're going to be high dollar players. Para and Cargo, they're both getting older, and they got guys waiting behind them, so I'd be shocked if either one of them was back. But, like, would you guys rather have DJ or Ottavino? Would be my question. Because I think they'll keep at least one.
That's tough.
Ottavino was hard to rely on, I feel like. Like, he's a great...
Well, when he was on, he was on.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, if we can
Much more
retain
spotty.
him and have, like, maybe give Hampson second base and let him kind of grow into maybe we don't want to pay Trevor Story one day. I don't know. I'm just thinking at a management standpoint.
Yeah.
It's like, what if Hampson's really a stud, and then we can warm him up at second over a year or two and then move him to short where he's meant to play. So I think it's the smarter plays to keep Ottavino, but he would have to pitch better next year than he did this year cumulatively.
Yeah, I mean, I think like 80% of the time he was unhittable, but that 20% he was either throwing wild pitches or giving up home runs. I mean, I agree with you just because I think we have, like, between Garrett Hampson and Brendan Rodgers, like, we have guys that can play second base. So I think DJ is replaceable.
McMahon can get in there too, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
DJ just seems like such a vital part of the entire outfield dynamic.
Oh, he's Mr. Reliable.
Infield.
Right.
Like,
Pardon me. Yeah, infield.
The majority of games, he's going to get on base, whether it's a walk or a single. And then,
but more from a deep defensive perspective, like, he's the glue. He's the guy that keeps everything like a well-oiled machine.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we can just pop someone new in there and not see a slump in production from the infield as a whole.
And he's just so consistent. Like, he might be the most consistent Rocky. Like, he's never hit 20 home runs in a season. This year was his high at 15. But it's like, you know what you're going to get from him. He's going to average between, 280 and 310 in batting average. He's not going to be spectacular by any means, but, like, he's going to do his job and do it well.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So he would be hard to replace, but I think he deserves 15 to 18 million a year.
You probably can't
Like
afford it.
I want him to leave, not because I don't want him to be a Rocky. It's because he deserves to get paid.
Right.
And the Rockies probably, like, this is a business, and as fans, we get mad at players leaving teams or teams leaving players, like letting players go. But it's a business, and you gotta separate emotion from what's best for the team. And I think what's best for DJ is to test free agency and go grab the biggest contract you possibly can, or play for the best team that you possibly can.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
He definitely, I think, in free agency will have a lot of options with how consistent he's been and what a great reputation he has.
Well, there's a lot of teams that need second baseman. So that's a factor right there.
Yeah.
Like, there's probably at least 10 teams that would be looking to sign him.
And I know, like, there's probably very slim odds of Para or Cargo being around. And that's, it is what it is. Like you said, it's a business, but that makes me sad. Para especially. He was one of my favorites just as a fan. He was always so passionate and
Shows his emotions.
pumped up all the time, dyeing his hair. He was great Rocky.
Cargo, he's been with the Rockies for 9 or 10 years now.
Yeah.
Long time.
That was from the Matt Holliday deal, right?
I don't know, actually. I don't know what the...
He was.
Or no, he was from the A's.
Oh. Okay.
So I'm not sure what the actual trade was. But I remember he was just
Right.
like, he was a throw-in guy. It's like, you want someone else? All right, take this
He
guy.
turned himself into much more
Right.
than just a throw-in
He
guy.
was the
Right.
guy for a good long while.
And he's been a local fan favorite
For sure.
the better part of a decade.
Yeah. Because kind of what I would like to see, it may sound kind of weird, is I would like to see Ian Desmond go from first base to right field, Chuck go to center field to left field, and then have David Dahl play center field. And then the infield, like probably
Who would you have
Rogers.
At first?
Oh, Ryan McMahon at first.
McMahon at first.
Yeah. I mean, McMahon, when he's had the chances, he's stepped up. Like, he was a rookie this year, so I don't think he should have been in the regular lineup.
He made some waves when he was pinch hitting.
Yeah.
And on some fill-in games for sure.
Oh, yeah. So my prediction is I don't think DJ, Cargo, or Parra will be on the team, which will suck.
Does
but,
suck.
Yeah, that's a lot of money right there.
We got home from the game, and I totally cried for like 10 minutes. It's like, oh, yeah. And it's like you said, like, as a fan, like, you know it's a business. You appreciate it's a business. But I was like, all right, I'm going to be really sad that the team's not going to be the same. And then you move on and you become a fan of new players.
And that's
And
really,
that's the
that's
way it
really
goes.
every season.
Like, you feel it and you're like, oh, I like loved watching these guys. I appreciated what they did. I'm going to feel all my feels. And next season, who am I going to love?
Well, it's like the
Who's going to
Jerry
be my new favorite?
It's like the Jerry Seinfeld joke. Like, when you're a fan of a sports team, you're really a fan of laundry. Like, you're just a fan of people that are wearing that jersey.
I like this name and I like this number.
You're not a fan of the player. You're just a fan of what they're wearing right now.
Exactly.
It's such a
This
Seinfeld joke.
number catches.
Right?
Yeah, I was a
Well,
fan of a Rocky for a long time just because his number was 33 and I can't remember his name.
Larry Walker.
No, not Larry Walker. Who was the guy that liked mac and cheese?
Oh.
I can't remember his name.
Oh, the first baseman.
Yeah,
Came from...
just liked his number. So
Yeah. It starts with a C. I know.
sometimes it happens. So throughout the season, there were like a lot of really great moments. Does anyone have any
Cuddy. That was it.
personal
Sorry.
favorites?
Yeah.
I remember that one. My favorite was DJ's walk-off.
Nice.
That was just a normal... Was it a grand slam?
Oh.
I feel like it might have been a grand slam, but we'll just say home run.
I know, yeah,
His
I know it was
first
a
career
walk-off.
home run.
Yeah.
First
Or
career
walk-off,
walk-off,
sorry.
yeah.
Sorry.
That
was an
good.
exciting moment because it was like a pivotal game where we had to show everyone like the Rockies are a force to be reckoned with, and DJ was probably still in the number 2 slot right there or during that time, and then to be able to finish the game off of something like that from a guy that's not known from going deep was really exciting, just as a Rockies fan in my mind, because we've always had, a couple flashy hitters, but then to see someone else step up and be the hero was like, gotta cheer for the little guy sometimes.
Yeah, and wasn't that in like mid-September or something like that? Where it was like, it
it
happened
might have
like
been, it was,
when
it
we
was,
were in a dead heat for the playoff
trying
race.
to make sure we're not caught behind the Dodgers too far.
It's a big
Yeah.
win.
I forgot about that. That's a good one. Because that was huge.
Mine is probably Trevor's walk-off. We had a good handful of walk-offs this season that were really exciting.
I think there was like a week where it was like,
We had
Rockies
a
walked off,
great-
Rockies
yeah.
walked off. Because I think McMahon had one.
And
Yeah.
Desmond had one too.
Trevor's is just the
The
one
same
that's
area.
that's like so, I don't know why, more than the others, is so ingrained in my memory.
When was that? I
It
don't
was-
remember that one either.
Like maybe late July, early August.
Okay. Yeah.
So I don't know if necessarily where it fell was like a huge game. It was just a huge moment.
Jeez, because we have had a lot of walk-offs. Like, I remember Ryan McMahon's walk-off where we were down 0-2 in the bottom of the ninth, and he hits a 3-run homer to win 3-2. Like, that was
insane.
it's probably my favorite walk-off of the season. Probably my favorite moment was Jenny Cavanaugh being the second play-by-play woman ever in Major League history, and the first one since 1993.
I didn't know it was the second one in history. I
Yeah.
knew it was first for the Rockies.
Because they've had,
cool.
they've
I
had-
like
that's
Jenny
awesome.
so much.
So they've had women analysts before. So like Drew Goodman, he's the play-by-play, and then like Spilly and Jeff, they're the analysts. But like Jenny was the first one since 1993 to actually do the play-by-play. So she was
That's
the
awesome.
lead. And she killed it. The Rockies got destroyed that game, but she was the bright point.
Fire up the fountain.
She
Right.
made the plays clear.
Yeah, I really enjoy all of her commentary before and after the games.
Yeah.
That's kind of her regular gig.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
She's born and raised in Colorado. Been a Rockies fan since the Rockies existed. She's earned it for sure.
Love it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So is everyone looking at me now?
Yeah?
Yes.
I'm going to stray away from the walk-offs and announcers and say that my favorite part was Marquez just going lights out that one game.
That's
Was
a
it
good
8
one.
straight strikeouts?
Yeah, to begin
Oh,
the
that
game.
was
start
a
the
great.
game.
That was a great.
I mean, especially
great
after how much
game.
money we've sunk into our bullpen and our pitching staff. It was good to see that level of production.
And to get to watch him break a record and tie another.
Yeah.
And like you never know when that's gonna happen with pitching. Like you watch so
Mm-hmm.
many games throughout the season, and then you're like, oh wait, oh it's another one. Oh he's doing another one. Oh, okay, pay attention. Hold on, he's doing another one. He's doing another
Sometimes
one.
it happens on like game number 2 of a double header between two teams, and it's like no one cares about this game. And then all of a sudden, so and so's pitching a no hitter or something, and everyone's like,
Turn it
"Whoa."
on, turn it on.
But no, like that was game 1 against the Brewers, right?
That wasn't playoffs.
No.
No, that wasn't
It was not
playoffs.
playoffs.
It was, oh no, it felt like playoffs because that
It
was.
did.
felt
We
like
were
that. It was
fighting.
probably
Was that Nationals or Dodgers? That
I think
was
it
that
was-
was right before.
I think it was the Phillies.
Phillies. That's what it was. It was
The
Phillies.
Phillies, they just rolled over.
My brain,
Yeah,
my brain
throughout
is
the
so
series.
saturated with baseball right now.
Right.
It's not even funny.
There's so many games.
So many games.
just a couple.
Well, when we played 10 straight, well, more than 10 straight to finish the
Yeah.
Yeah.
season.
Right.
But no, you're absolutely right, Miles. Like Marquez pitching that was
That
really
was
fun
great
to watch.
moment.
Yeah. When he's on his rookie contract, so it's not like he's a high dollar guy. Like
We're gonna have to
It's
put
nice
money.
to see
We're gonna
that.
have to pay him, but
Oh, yeah.
Start
If we can
setting
Freeland-
money aside, Rockies. Do like my mom did when I was a kid. You have like your envelopes. Put $20 in here, 20 in here. Start setting aside funds for Marquez.
and Freeland.
For Freeland.
Yeah.
yeah.
Make sure you're ready to pay him when the time comes.
The
Hopefully
easiest
John
way
Gray.
to set aside funds is a title.
Yep.
So let's go win a title next year.
That would be
Yes.
great.
So, kind of segueing with that, what you were getting into earlier, Gid, you were talking about how the players show up in the postseason. Can we all agree or talk about Arenado
Oh,
Yes.
when it comes
Hey.
to the production in the regular
Oh, he
season
did- he
versus
did
the
not show up.
postseason? He didn't show up at all.
No.
It's like a cardboard cutout was out there.
Yeah.
I disagree. He was probably our second best hitter in the postseason. That's not saying a lot because there's
Considering
nothing to
his
compare it
his
to.
regular season production, though.
Right. Like the
versus
drop
what
off.
he did.
The drop off from regular season to postseason was drastic.
Defensively, he was solid. Like I thought he was great in the postseason. Offensively,
Defensively,
he
he
was a
was good.
shadow of himself.
Oh, for sure.
And he
And that's
did
kind
get-
of what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Like when Gid brought up that Freeland just went lights out against Leicester,
And that
he showed up in the postseason.
tells you
Mhm.
a lot.
And he's got to do it on every play.
I mean,
Well,
Arenado
defensively.
is a phenomenal third baseman defensively. One of the best.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also a great bat.
Oh yeah.
Where was that?
Not when his heart's pounding.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, you could, even watching him on TV, like, you could just feel the anxiety. He just looks
All
like
those sunflower seeds.
All those
jumping
sunflower
on
seeds.
every bad pitch, chasing stuff. Like he wasn't the only one, but when you have a guy that's trying to be the leader of
Yeah.
the team and show everyone like I am an above elite, like one of the very few phenomenal players in this league.
Two-way player.
That was his moment,
Yeah.
and he had 3 moments, 3 games to show everyone.
Yeah.
Well, and it was
Well,
across
three
the
against
whole
the Brewers.
lineup.
Yeah.
Like, it's
Like,
not like his was
those
just
are
a
really
cool
real
bat.
playoffs.
So it's a wild card.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, no, but the wild card was a pitching.
No, yeah,
like
duel.
No, I know
duel
for sure. But still, I mean,
can't be mad
he
at
can still
anyone
show
for
up
that,
in there.
but-
No,
Yeah.
but yeah, 4 postseason games.
When
Series,
yeah, but when you're looking for your main guy to at least put a double out there, clear some runs when you have men on base. None of that happened.
Over and over again, having guys on base.
Yeah, well, and overall, the Rockies did not have a great year offensively. Like, if you look at the numbers, like, they were in the top 10 in every category. But if you play at Coors Field, you're always going to be in the top 10.
Yeah.
So it's like, overall, I think the offense is a problem. And I think the biggest problem for the offense is, and we learned this in the playoffs, I think, because if Arenado and Story are not on their game, the offense doesn't really do much.
gone.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, Chuck, he's great. DJ, he's great. But, like, the offense revolves around Story and Arenado. And they both were awful in the postseason. Like, both their batting averages were around, like, 180. And it's the postseason.
Well, and Bud Black is a great manager. He got us to the postseason 2 years in a row for the first time ever. He used to be a pitcher. He used to be a pitching coach. And he's worked wonders with our pitching staff. But we need a new... There's a batting coach, right?
Yeah.
Who's our batting coach? Anybody know?
I've heard his name, but I don't remember. It was Dante Bichette, like, last year or 2
Because
years
I feel
ago.
like in
know
those
that,
big
but-
moments, like, who's talking these guys up? Who's, like... Or, in this case, talking them down off the ledge of, like, this crazy manic anxiety. Like, who's supposed to be doing that job? Because they weren't doing it.
Well, the whole manic anxiety, I think that falls on the manager.
But there's only so much one person can do. Like,
What?
that's why you have a staff. That's why you have a team of people.
I mean, I imagine it'd probably fall on Ron Gideon since he's listed as an other coach. But they actually don't have... Oh, hitting coach. There we go.
There we go. Hitting,
There
not batting.
it is.
Hitting.
Dwayne Espy.
That's right.
And
Okay.
Jeff Salazar is the assistant.
I
Well,
feel
and
like
honestly,
we might need to switch things up in some of those.
like, I don't want to, like, discount any coaches or anything, but it's like, I don't know what a hitting coach actually does.
You're a
Honestly.
therapist. That's my analysis.
Like, if you made it this
I'm
far in
like-
baseball, like, you know how to
help
hit the
them
ball.
with but like analyzing their swing, helping from your outside perspective, give the hitter perspective on patterns that are developing, bad pitches they keep swinging at. Like, you're the other set of eyes.
Well, I think in the world of baseball, it doesn't matter what you've been told as a player. When you're up to that plate and you got 90-mile-per-hour balls coming
That's true.
right across your chest, the only thing you're worried about is making contact with that ball. And if your anxiety is getting the best of you, you can't have that angel on your shoulder being like, it's 2-2. He's got to throw a slider. Don't swing.
Right. I know.
It would be
Because
nice.
we were all yelling
Yeah.
at the TV, like, it's going to be outside the zone, Trevor, and don't
And
swing.
I don't mean like the angel on the shoulder in the moment. I just mean like for the big
Right.
big picture of,
But
what
I think the
do you need
issues...
to glean from your patterns and your habits.
I think the issues arose not with identifying what patterns were happening, but was they were trying to be the hero because this was their, like, well, it's 2-2. That means I only got, like, one more good swing. This might as well be it. And then they completely whiff this swing, and now you're out and going back on defense.
Yeah, and if they do get a new hitting coach, like, it better be someone really good. Because I don't think you can blame it on the hitting coach, but
Not blame, just like it's a piece of the puzzle.
Well, and when they hired Bud Black, like, the history of the Colorado Rockies have been all offense, no pitching. And when they hired Bud Black, they were like, okay, so we're going to hire a pitching guy, let him figure out the pitching, and the offense is just going to figure themselves out. So they got exactly what they
Cute.
wanted.
But the
Like,
offense
of
did
course
not
they-
figure
yeah,
themselves
exactly.
out.
I mean, it's a good concept.
I mean,
And Bud
what's-
Black, he's been to 2 postseason appearances in 2 years.
Yeah.
What's
you
Barry
might-
Bonds doing? I'm sure he's got some advice. I'm just kidding.
A few needles, maybe.
This is what you guys need.
Yeah.
Trust me.
Well, before we wrap it up, does anyone have any big final thoughts?
Trade Arenado.
Okay.
Ooh.
If you're gonna say that,
And yes, big thought.
We're
from
not
Ian.
ending on that.
I agree and
let's-
disagree.
let's-
So
like,
I-
do you
I
think
think-
it'll happen? And if it doesn't, do you let him, like, give him one more chance and then risk him walking in free agency?
So I think Jeff Bridich, the GM, he needs to sit down with Arenado, and they either need to figure out a long-term deal, and if they can't figure that out, then they need to trade him. Because if he's not going to sign a long-term deal in this offseason, then he's probably going to walk next year.
Right.
Might as well get something for him.
All right, we're on the same page.
Yeah. So it's like, I want Arenado to stay, but it might cost, $350 million over 10 years.
I'm feeling weirdly neutral on Arenado, which if I had told myself I'd feel this way at the beginning of the season, I wouldn't have believed it. But I'm like, whatever happens, happens. He'll be here or he won't.
Because that's money
Okay.
that, if we don't end up not signing Arenado, like, that means we could keep Otto, we could keep Cargo, Para, DJ. Like, we could keep everybody that's going to leave.
We could keep all of them?
Yeah.
And then there's definitely going to be a gaping hole at third.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Do we
'Cause
have
who we-
anyone that
he-
could take third?
there's people. Yeah, I don't know. Off
We
the
could
top
probably
of the
sign
head,
somebody.
but
But
he had 6 Golden Gloves.
Yeah.
he's got five
Five?
in his first 5 years. He's
It's
going to
like-
get a 6 this year.
If,
Which is
if you
unheard
let
of.
that go, if you trade it away, yes, we're going to trade you to a team, but we're also going to address the concerns that will arise
Right.
that come
That
from
kind of
trading.
stellar player.
But no, I'm definitely open to having Arenado sign a long-term contract because it would be at a discounted rate opposed to, hey, we just made a deep postseason run. Arenado, we're going to extend you now. And then he's like, well, I just took you to whatever.
Yeah. I think it
But
has
that
to happen in this
That didn't
offseason.
happen, so we it's kind of a blessing for the Rockies in terms of Arenado's contract.
That's true. Yeah. And he made those comments, which, I agreed with him at the time, but he didn't step up in the postseason. So now it's really up to him what he wants to do. And if he wants to leave, awesome. Just don't go to the Dodgers or the Diamondbacks.
I know he was quoted as saying that he's expecting to be, in a Rockies uniform come spring training.
Good.
And so,
I hope so.
His mentality is he's still a Rocky. He wants to stay here, and I know the fans would love to keep him here. But yeah, don't disparage our city and our team without backing it up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
So
for
yeah,
sure.
I hope he's a Rocky for life, but it's going to be a very expensive Rocky for sure.
Any other final thoughts? All right. Thank you guys so much for tuning in throughout the season. It has been a lot of fun getting to sit around and talk about the Rockies with my friends and my hubs, and we hope you guys will tune in for some of our Broncos coverage. We're also getting ready to jump into Nuggets and Avalanche pods, so keep a listen out for those, and we will catch you Rockies fans in April, maybe March.
If anything big happens in the offseason, we'll probably chime
That's
in.
true.
We'll drop
Yeah, that's
a
true.
5 to 10 minute one. Why
Yeah.
not?
Update. All right, thanks again. Catch you later. Bye.
Peace. Laters.
Toodles.